the meeting to order. And the first item is approval or consideration of the minutes of the September 11th, 2023 meeting. Call the roll. We got a quorum, I can see it. Call the roll.
Alderman Marshall. Alderman Frazier.
Here.
Alderman Henderson.
Here.
Alderman Tolfree.
Here.
Alderman Mosley. Here. And Alderman Atkins.
Here.
Told you. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Alderman Henderson. I appreciate it. Jumping the gun. All right, minutes of September the 11th. Council members, you've got that in your packets.
I move that the minutes for September 11th be approved as emailed and received by hard copy. Second.
Motion's made and seconded. You don't get that, who it is. Question or discussion on the minutes, corrections, anything dealing with the minutes of September the 11th? All in favor of approval, show of hands, please. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Minutes are approved. City Clerk, would you briefly go over the financial report?
Okay. Expenditures for administrative were $343,247.40. For law enforcement, there were $1,119,447.84. Fire is $349,152.10. Sanitation was $787,844.12. Building codes was $26,393.70. District court, $70,407.62. Municipal building, $26,757.28. Recreation, $220,707.19. Cultural center, $16,839.58. Armory, $16,276.53. Shooting range was $41,091.99. Senior citizen, $9,363.77. Other was $5,812.74. Airport was $30,416.02. And economic development was $51,980.41. And then street was $423,010.41.
I'll remind council that those numbers are January through September of 2023. That's total figures for the year, so we all know that.
Move that the statement of revenue and expenditures be received by the city clerk.
Second. Motion's made and seconded. Is there any question or discussion to that motion? All those in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so that's approved. Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry.
The city sales tax.
Well, the cash balances sheet is there, so you can see our current cash balances, and then they got the city and county sales tax, right?
There it is. Okay. The city sales and use tax for, September was $88,162.05. And the county sales and use tax was $59,373.11.
Both were a little bit down from a year ago, but pretty current with this year. So, where we are there. Now, you've got the quarterly overtime report. Anybody got any questions on any
No,
of
that's
that?
just a report that the Ways and Means Committee has to receive on a quarterly basis.
Anybody does have any questions or anything, let us know on that. All right, item 6, I'm gonna try to move this along. The LSI proposal you have a document in your packet there, it says City of Warren, Arkansas Statement of Work. This company, LSI Business Development, has simply, they approached me a number of months ago. They are a private, for-profit organization, but they work with cities and counties to help them apply for grants. Of course, they charge for doing this. I'm not aware of anything we really need for them to do right now unless the council decided they might be helpful in coming up with some fairly big numbers for the cultural center. I wanted y'all to have this. If the council decides they want to interview these folks, I can get that done. So it's that simple. I just wanted to provide this to you. I have no problem whatsoever with you having a meeting, one of the committees wants to meet with them, or if you just want to have them come to a council meeting and make some comments. And you don't have to do it tonight, but I just wanted to go ahead and give that to you. Has anybody got any questions or any suggestion as to what you want to do?
Do we have to pay them irregardless whether we get results or not?
That's my understanding, Mr. Tollfree, but,
Yes.
I think so. Yes. All right, I'm gonna move on. The next item is, it says resolution, and there's no resolution number there. This is the one that we've been asked to, take some action on about the Interstate 530 project. I have briefed the council on it. I was promised I would get a sample resolution from, one of the economic development organizations. This is a Drew, Bradley County, Ashley County effort. They didn't get it to me, and I didn't get one written up. I'm just gonna write it up myself. I'm just gonna ask the council if you'll see fit to do it tonight, if you wanna wait till next month, but I'd like to ask you to just pass a motion in this meeting, which will be in the minutes, that the city council's top priority to the Arkansas Highway Department is to go forward with the Interstate 530 project from Highway 278 north to Pine Bluff. We can send them a letter with excerpts of the minutes, and that ought to give them what they want. There's efforts underway. We got a new highway commissioner. I think y'all all know that. He lives in Texarkana. Not sure he even knows where Warren is, but we're trying to make sure he does. That's a major project for our industry throughout the city of Warren. Of course, it comes out right there by the intermodal authority, but it will benefit every industry in Warren if that ever gets built. Talking about an interstate. That's my recommendation to you tonight.
Question.
Yes, sir.
If we go forward with this, will the previous right-of-way that was already purchased, along with the highway that has already been laid, will they follow that
Exactly.
route?
Yes.
Okay.
The right-of-way, good point, Mr. Tollfree, the right-of-way on that particular project has already been purchased, because it's been in the works for years. And they never will come across with the rest of, most of it's gonna be federal money that they have to get to do it. And, so apparently the highway commissioner, indicated to Mr. Lipton, they ran into each other somewhere. And, of course, he's a former commissioner, as y'all all know, and John was lobbying him for, this area for that interstate. And he basically told him for all the cities and the counties and the chambers and the governmental agencies and the economic development groups to come up with one project that was their top. Now, we're not talking about regular maintenance and stuff like that. We're talking about a new project. And because he wasn't gonna go in 17 different directions to try to help us, so we'd all come together, he would try to help us, as I understand. That's it.
Move that the city of Warren submit to, our highway commissioner, top priority being Interstate 530, 278 north to Pine Bluff.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any question or discussion? Okay, all in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so thank you for that. Next item under the mayor's report is we got a memo there from the chief. 2009 Chevrolet Impala car he wants to sell at the next available local auction. This is to get rid of.
I move that we allow Chief Hildreth to sell the 2009 Chevrolet Impala, car.
Proper motion, is there a second? Think Alderman Mosley beat you to the punch that time, but, it's okay. Motion's made and seconded, any question or discussion? We do this all the time, nothing new. All those in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent, so that takes care of that. Now, item 4, maybe need a little bit more explanation, but I'll try to make it short, the city clerk can help me. This deals with our, mandatory consolation of our fire pension fund. For I don't know how many years, the city of Warren's had a local fire pension fund. This is, the board that oversaw the investments and payment of pensions for retired fire department personnel, full-time and part-time, and widows, when the circumstances arose. That's operated for, I don't even know how long, many, many years. Well, a number of years back, the state of Arkansas, which of course governs all that still, sets the rules for it, created a statewide program. It's called LOPI, deals with police and firemen, I believe. And everybody from a certain date forward that we hired went under the new system, but this old system continued to function. But the law says when you get down to so many people, few people left, that they have to be consolidated together. And, I mean, it's really not an option. We've got to do this. We cannot continue to run the local program. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna try to, we have to turn over the money that we have invested to the state. The city will continue to contribute the amount that we've always contributed for the, people that are still on the program. So, but we'll just be paying it to the state. We won't be investing it, we won't be doing anything except just doing that. Would you make any other quick comments on this? Have I explained it right?
Yeah. Are you gonna talk about the COLA?
Yeah, but,
Okay,
yeah.
yes. Yes, you did.
Okay, well, we've got, we've got an ordinance, and how many things have we got to adopt here? Let me look at
Ordinance
this.
and a resolution.
We've got an ordinance with a resolution first, or y'all have got an administrative services contract. Is that what the resolution adopts?
Yeah, we adopt the, ordinance and whichever ordinance you choose to adopt. One is with COLA and one is without.
All right, now, one of these sets it up where, they can get cost of living raises in the future, which the other one, I guess they would not get any cost of living. It's just paid out till they're all gone at the current rate. We recommend, it'll probably mean we'll have to pay a little bit more in as a city, but I would recommend to you we do the cost of living raises. So, again, help me here.
I don't see a resolution.
I don't see a resolution either. I see an
I
ordinance.
see ordinance, I'm not following you as it relates a resolution.
I'm not
We
either.
have a resolution. There should have been a resolution in there.
Not on the
Well,
back,
I
is
mean,
it?
it's actually stapled together, and on the first page, it's, over,
What does the resolution authorize?
and then it says an administrative services agreement.
Yeah, that's a contract.
I'm
with the
trying to
league.
the
And
magazine
two
sign.
ordinance, and there's nothing else.
and there's two things I have, the same thing on the ordinance.
Well, no, one of them is, an ordinance to adopt with the COLA, with the,
Okay, I got that, but where's the
second one,
resolution?
I don't know, Mayor, I have it in there, give all the paperwork.
Charlotte, do you have any idea where I thought the resolution was in this packet.
No, this is what I was given.
And then the second ordinance is, if you adopt it, it's the one without the COLA.
Okay, the first one, yes, it is with a 3%, and then the second one does not have.
Right,
Okay.
so you're gonna,
Well, we're gonna go ahead and adopt the ordinance. We'll have to get back on the resolution. Called myself looking at this, but I guess I was thinking the resolution was the contractual agreement.
the contract is the one that you signed.
Yeah, I know, but wait a minute.
It says administrative service agreement.
I think that's what we're talking about right there, so let's do it that way. Give me a number for the resolution, I'm sorry. Do we have a resolution number that I can put on this? Charlotte's looking.
$688.
All right, A688. That would go on the thing that says Administrative Services Agreement. I'm gonna read that to you and then ask you to adopt this, okay? That's for, there's,
I was just going to say it in ordinance, and I thought we had to place it on its.
this is resolution.
This says ordinance.
He's talking about the agreement.
No, I'm talking about the agreement.
Oh, you're talking about the agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I'm
Service
sorry.
agreement?
Okay, you're saying administrative services agreement.
That's the resolution we're gonna adopt.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm totally confused.
Well,
I see two ordinances.
Now, we got that, we understand that, but there's this Administrative Services Agreement has to be adopted by
Which is a
resolution.
contract.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
but we're using it as a resolution.
Well, we're gonna adopt it, so yeah, maybe saying resolution may not be the wise thing to do, but I mean, it reads like one.
I would think contractual agreement.
Okay, I'll take that, that'll be fine. That's gotta be done, and then we adopt the ordinance that y'all wish, whichever one, with the COLA or without it, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and call it, a contract, but also resolution 688, administrative.
Yeah, because it's just the administrative service agreement and the ordinance.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. We're right, we're using the wrong terminology, I'm sorry. All right, so we are gonna read and adopt this contract, okay? That's what we're talking about, or at least ask you to approve it.
Okay, where's the resolution? Is there no resolution?
No, we'll just call it,
Okay, all right.
when you make the motion, it would be to approve the contract.
Okay.
Administrative Services Agreement. This Administrative Services Agreement is entered into by and between the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement Program, LAFI, City of Warren, for the benefit of its Fire Relief and Pension Fund local plan. Parties, the City of Warren, the political subdivision currently has and administers a local plan. LAFI is an agency created by statute, Arkansas Code annotated 24-10-101, as amended for the purpose of providing a statewide retirement system with pooled administration. The mayor and city council of Warren desire to enter into an irrevocable agreement with LAFI to administer its local plan. In consideration of the mutual obligations hereinafter enumerated, the parties agree to all the following. Number one, this agreement is made pursuant to the authority of ACA 24-10-101 as amended, and ACA 2411-804 as amended. Number two, this agreement shall be effective and permanent upon the executed date entered on page 2 of this agreement. Number three, this agreement is for the administration of the local plan and its benefit structure shall not change unless a benefit increase is formally approved by the city of Warren by ordinance. 4, the actuaries for LAFI have computed the initial employer contribution rates to be paid by the city of Warren to support the benefits paid by the local plan. The city of Warren agrees to always remit payment at the level established by the actuaries for LAFI and in the monthly time frame set by LAFI. Benefits, and that's number 5, is benefits and any member refund shall be paid effective the first business day of each month in accordance with LAFI procedures and guidelines. Item 6, LAFI covenants and agrees to provide the following services. Number 8, investment of local plan assets and the award of annual interest to the employer reserve account at the end of each fiscal year consistent with the interest awarded to other LAFI employer accounts. B, process retirement applications including determination of eligibility, calculation of service credit and benefit payment amounts, payment of benefits to eligible benefit recipients, and satisfaction of state and federal state withholding requirements, all in accordance with LAFI procedures and guidelines. And 7, the city of Warren covenants and agrees as follows. A, upon execution of this agreement and all local plan assets and records shall be promptly transferred to LAFI. In the sole discretion of LAFI, certain investments may be allowed to mature to avoid penalties. B, all employer and applicable employee contributions shall be remitted to LAFI in time recorded by the 10th day of each month for each reporting period. Remittance shall be made in manner and amounts prescribed by LAFI, which shall include the use of LAFI electronic reporting and LAFI's e-payment. C, the city of Warren shall execute all documents required by LAFI to aid in the administrative process. D, all members and beneficiaries of the local plan have been deemed eligible pursuant to the standards prevailing at the time of the determination of eligibility. The parties agree that LAFI is bound by any determination of eligibility or ineligibility made by the Board of Trustees of the local plan as long as such determinations conform to state law. The local plan and the city of Warren identify and hold LAFI harmless for any eligibility decisions made by the local plan. The city of Warren has disclosed to LAFI all pending claims, actions, suits, and threatened liabilities to the local plan. And then ordinance number, that'll be the ordinance 950.
I move that we approve the administrative service contractual agreement with Warren.
Motion
Second.
made, seconded. Any question or discussion?
Question. Will this affect anybody else that's already in the retirement plan or will they receive what they've been receiving? Or will they get an increase?
They'll get what they've been getting plus the COLA in the future, plus the COLA, if you adopt that ordinance.
Okay, well, the ones that's already in there, say for instance, they retire right now, but they still be on the old.
They're all retired right now. The board will cease to exist,
Okay,
but they will still get their retirement pay. Plus a COLA, again, if you
If we
approve.
go with that particular
If you
one.
go with that particular one, yes. What's happened is, quite frankly, all your members, we're down to just 2 or 3 people left, and some widows. They died off. We've lost 2 recently.
And this isn't a choice.
You know,
is what I'm- yeah.
Other questions? Okay, all in favor, I got a motion second to approve the contract. Please show your hands if you're for it. I see 5 in favor, any opposed? Well, we got one absent, so that's approved, okay. Now we go to the ordinance. This will be proposed ordinance 950, whichever one of these you choose. And we probably ought to have a motion, just for the record, as to which one we choose, COLA or non-COLA. So I'm gonna, the first one in your packet there,
I move that we go with the ordinance that includes the 3% compounded cost of living adjustment, for those employees.
it's a appropriate motion and seconded. Alderman Colfrey, you second that?
Yes.
Okay, seconded. This is just choosing which one of these we're gonna adopt, and we're gonna,
To be awarded each July.
okay? Any question or discussion on that motion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. All right, this is proposed ordinance 950. This sounds worse than all it really is. It's simple, except for me
I
getting
move
messed up
that
on
we
that.
place ordinance number 950 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. An ordinance transferring administration of retirement coverage for eligible members of the Warren Fire Relief and Pension Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement Fund, or Retirement System, LOPI, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an irrevocable agreement with LOPI. Whereas the City Council of Warren, Arkansas has declared the Warren Fire Relief and Pension Fund inactive and shall act as its agent henceforth. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Warren, Arkansas, Section 1, once accepted by LOPI, the administration of Warren Fire Relief and Pension Fund local plan shall be transferred to LOPI under authority of Arkansas Code annotated 2410-101, and Arkansas Code annotated 2411-804 as amended. Such transfers shall mean the administration of local plan only and not a change in the local plan's benefit program unless a benefit increase is formally approved by the City of Warren, Arkansas by ordinance. With the passage of this ordinance, a 3% compound cost of living adjustment shall be added to the benefit program of the local plan. This COLA will be awarded each July 1st according to LOPI guidelines. Section 2, the mayor is hereby authorized to enter into an irrevocable agreement using a 15-year amortization schedule with LOPI to administer the local plan as stated in section 1 hereof. Section 3 is the intent of City Council, and it is hereby ordained that the provisions of this order shall be codified in the Code of Ordinances of Warren, Arkansas, and the sections thereof may be renumbered and relettered as necessary to accomplish such intention. Section 4, that due to the need to consolidate administration of the local plan with LOPI, an emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this order shall be in full force from and after the date of its passage and approval.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 950 on its second reading.
Second.
Motion's made, seconded, suspend the rules, place proposed ordinance 950 on second reading. Question or discussion? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Proposed ordinance 950, an ordinance transferring administration of retirement coverage for eligible members of the Warren Fire Relief and Pension Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Retirement System, LOPI, and authorize the mayor of Warren to enter into an irrevocable agreement with LOPI.
I move that we suspend the rules and place ordinance number 950 on its third and final reading.
Second. I'll yield to you.
We'll take the first one, you're okay. Motion's made and seconded to again suspend the rules and, place proposed ordinance 950 on its third and final reading. Any discussion? Question? All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Proposed ordinance number 950, an ordinance transferring administration of retirement coverage for eligible members of the Warren Fire Relief and Pension Fund to the Arkansas Local Police and Fire Pension Retirement, LOPI, and authorize the mayor to enter into an irrevocable agreement with LOPI.
I move that we adopt ordinance number 950.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for adoption of the ordinance, proposed 950. Any final discussion or question? This is a vote for adoption. All in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Emergency.
I know, but you have to say that it was adopted.
It was adopted.
I move that we adopt the emergency clause.
Second.
Motion second that the emergency clause be adopted. Any question or discussion of that motion? Okay, all in favor? Show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. The emergency clause is adopted. Okay, thank y'all. I know it's a lot to go through in a hurry there, but that takes care of it. I would tell you that the folks that are currently managing the city local plan, they intend to come down here in about a week or so, and with the last few members we got on the plan, go over everything with them to make sure they understand how it's gonna work. They're gonna do that, so. All right. I think that takes care of all the stuff under my report. Okay, we got Alderman, and anybody, we got several people here that will speak to the council, but do y'all have anybody that you brought in besides these that have,
Seth Jolly,
he's on the list?
okay.
Okay,
Sonny Webb,
got him on the list,
okay.
okay? Okay, I'm just going over on your Jana man. Do you wanna come up and
Sure.
make some comments? You're first on the list, so we're gonna invite you to come up. I think most all of y'all, but why don't you give your name and where you live? You can come up here, podium if you want to, you stand there, doesn't make any difference.
Does not matter to me.
And boy, I think most y'all here probably want to talk about the livestock, just for the record, if you look at the agenda, that is on the agenda a little bit later, but you, go ahead, you're recognized.
Yes, I live at 1283 Pennington Street here in Warren. It is considered city limits, but we, more out in the rural area, it's not up in the main town and all that. And we are aware of an issue with 2 people, including a donkey, not keeping the property up, and a neighbor that's complaining. It's a small town, people talk, you hear everything. Now, as me, I have animals. My husband and I, he could not be here, so I'm speaking on his behalf. We have cows. One point, my parents, they had horses. They don't have it no more, but we have probably 12 cows and 2 small babies. We keep our property clean, nice fence. Matter of fact, Seth Jolly just a couple of years ago put up brand new fencing. It's probably 8 acres that my husband and I own, and then probably another 8 that my parents own, and it's all joined together. So they've got a large area to run and do. As far as the issue that's going on that's brought us here, I see both sides of it. I see the man who was complaining about the problem. If it was me, I would be just as upset as he was. But the thing is, not everybody's like other people. It should not punish the people who has land, who keeps their land up. Their land is fenced in, and they do right. Just because 2 neighbors can't seem to get along, other people should not be punished. And as I said, I agree with the man who is complaining. I would be just as mad and just as upset if it was my property and things wasn't taken care of. But then I see the other side of it, the person that's got the animal fences, all that. I mean, I don't know where you go, but the people who's doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're doing it right should not be punished due to 2 neighbors not being able to get along. It's not fair to the ones who are doing right. And I can say Seth, his land is by mine, he keeps his land clean. He keeps his cows in, he's got nice fences, and we've all spent a lot of money to have the livestock we have for this to come in and possibly take everything away from us. It's not fair.
Thank you. Mr. Jolly, I think you next.
Yeah.
I may put time period on you just for the heck of it.
Nah, I ain't gonna talk about
I'm Seth Jolly. I live at 1240 Pennington, which is down the road from Dan and Greg. I have property there that I have cows at, probably 30 acres there, then 10 acres down the road, then the Cowboy Road that's in the city limits, Then I keep cows on the bypass and Forest Road, which is Phyllis Barnes, my grandma, that's her land, so I have cows there. Never had any issues, never had any complaints, all I have is cows, but cows is considered livestock, so if you pass a law to keep livestock in the city limits, that's doing away with cows. And I know there's an issue with a donkey, and I guess that's considered livestock, but a cow normally is not an issue, along with a horse. There's usually never no complaints on horses or cows. So I just take that in consideration before y'all pass a law to keep cows and horses out of the city limits. Because there's people that have a lot of time and money that aren't getting complaints on their animals. So, that's all I have to say.
Mr. Jerry West.
I'm Jerry West, and I live on Lakeside Drive, and I've had horses there since for 40-something years. And, like I say, I keep my fences up, and I don't have any problems with ever getting out. The only thing I see about it is, if you did something like that, maybe permit, where somebody checked your place, or something like that, where, you know, just to, because I do understand there's some out there that don't fix their fences and keep their horses up. I'm sure Clinton knows pretty well. I mean, but my horses, they've never been out that long, so. But anyway, that's what I had.
Thank you. Mr. Billy Smith.
Well, I live on 137 Cowboy Road. And I've been out there for 46 years. My wife's grandparents, that's their property, they had cows. And then when we got married 46 years ago, we wound up getting cattle. That land had cattle and horses on the other part. I'm gonna say over 46 years. 46 I know. Up till even now, we got 40 out there one time. It's been split off with kind of family houses. We got a little over 20 acres. My daughter, they run cattle on it now. But I got a hair fence in that I run calves from time to time. I got 3 weeks, I'll have 4 calves. And all of our neighbors out there got horses or cows. Out of 46 years, as I know of, we never had no complaints or any problem with any of the neighbors or any of the city officials, or they're gonna be called out there with a problem. And I just think, it's just like anything else, some people might have a problem, it look like to me it should be targeted on me to be handled in a individual basis. And the ones doing right, is no complaints, should be just left alone. Let them do their thing. Cattle's high, land's high. It's like I said, he bought land to have cows on. He spent a ton of money, I know, clearing it and fencing it for his cattle. And I spent money on fencing just like Jeremy has. And it ain't right to pass an ordinance to bar cattle, horses from the city limits when you're doing things right, some of us. And I just think it needs to be really looked at and considered on what's really right and what's really wrong. And that's what I feel.
Thank you. Mr. Clinton Webb. And I guess for full disclosure, Mr. Clinton, we do need to tell them you're the canine officer too for the enforcement, just so everybody does know that. You're the guy that chases the dogs that are running around illegal.
There's no running, Bob. My name is Clinton Webb, I'm your friendly neighborhood animal control officer. All right, and, my problem is the same, I've had horses for nearly 20 years. And the place that I live on, they've always had livestock. And so, my thing is, I don't see why I should pay for the problems that someone else has. You know, if there was an issue, you know, on my side, that would be different, you know, but, I have no complaints, I haven't had any complaints about it. And besides that, mine are like pets to me, you know, I like even just looking at them, whether I ride them or not. So, once again, I don't think everyone should suffer for someone else's problem. That's it.
Thank you, sir. That's all I had on the livestock. I think we got one other person here that's signed in that says car ordinance, so I'm gonna take it, that's what that's for. Is there anybody else that wants to speak on the livestock issue? I won't cut anybody off. I think point's been made, but just, let me do this. All of you that are present here because you're concerned about the livestock issue as it's been brought up, would you just either stand or hold your hand up or do something so the council can see who all we got here on that? Okay, thank you. That's good enough. We appreciate it. Now, we're still in public, comments. Mr. Estrada, is that, okay, Mr. Estrada, yours says you want to talk about cars, car ordinance, so could you come forward? Different issue, but I just want to make sure everybody's clear on that. Come on. Yes, sir, you just step right up here if you want to. You tell them your name and where you reside.
My name is Carlos Estrada, and the situation I have, somebody sold like my vehicles in my own property, so this person, and I don't know who, report my vehicles in my own property, because this or that, I don't know why, I never met with my neighbors they met with me, I don't know what happened. So, they sent me a letter. This letter say this, say that, and.
Mr. Estrada, where's the residence again? Where do you live?
Oh, I live in 48 Pinewood.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, Cloverdale.
Yes. And I'm kind of confused because I never met with my neighbors. I don't know my neighbors where they met with me, or I don't know.
How many vehicles do you have?
I have 7.
Are they licensed and running, insured and running vehicles?
Well, the thing is, some of those vehicles I ran over a year, and they need repair. And I was waiting for a income tax season to fix my own vehicle.
How long have they been there? Well, I don't want to cut you off. You say whatever you want to say, but it is illegal to have a yard full of vehicles that just, then 7 I'd call a pretty good number, and you can only have licensed, and you can't be running a business out of there now. If you're running a business, that's a zoning violation. You're not, are you buying and selling cars or anything like that?
No.
These are your personal cars.
Yes.
Okay, well, the council may want to ask a question. We'll be glad to talk with you, after the meeting, but you can't keep unrunnable, uninsured, unlicensed vehicles, for a week or two that you were doing something, we probably wouldn't be jumping at you. Somebody may have complained, but that's kind of beyond the point. I mean, it's illegal to do that. So you're gonna need to make some arrangements. If you'll let us talk to you after the council meeting or come back up here tomorrow, I'll be glad to get with you and the building official and we can talk about what needs to be done. If you would be willing to do that.
I can wait.
Okay.
I wanna fix it.
stay for the rest of the meeting and just wait till we're through, and I'll be glad to visit with you. Or if you wanna come back tomorrow or whenever you can, you just tell me when it is.
I can wait because this is important.
Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay. That's all we have on,
Yes, I think Mr. Harden raised his hand, he was here on the livestock matter.
I saw him, yes. Yes, do you want to say
I
something?
just wanna say this, a lot of
Yes.
people saying that, they don't have a donkey right outside their house. Right outside my house, hollering 24/7. I'm a retired disabled vet, I can't sleep at night. This thing hollering 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And one time it had in one case it had a pile of manure right beside my house. I can't come out of my house without cooking or smelling this manure. I don't have any livestock. I shouldn't have to be exposed to that. And that's not right. I don't have no livestock. I ain't got no problem with nobody but do. But people don't need to take care of their livestock and do what they're supposed to do.
I agree.
You know, that's the only thing I gotta say.
I was gonna say, she talked to the council.
Okay,
We understand,
All right.
we've been dealing with your
Okay,
situation,
all right.
I know, so we appreciate that, but yes. I thought you were just standing up and,
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
concerned about the livestock
Okay.
issue, so
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
All right.
you could say something. All right, we're gonna move on, that's all of our public comments, thank everybody, everybody's welcome to hang in here, you don't have to leave or nothing. Administrative and standing committee reports is item 7, and it starts with the police chief. Chief, don't you dare bring me a car or a piece of livestock in here to talk about, you got other things, okay? That's just little levity, folks, that's all that is, so. Good evening.
Good evening.
Everybody doing the city, once again, you have
Should have it.
monthly report in front of you. It statistically shows our activity for the month. Looking at any questions that you guys may have, it's pretty much accurate as far as the police department is up to the past day.
Questions?
I've been busy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's that time of the year, that most wonderful time of the year.
Just to comment, Chief, I guess, in this community, sometimes you hear all the negatives and you don't hear all the positives. And then when people are complaining, a lot of times when you do something actually about the complaint, they still complain. And the reason why I bring this up, I wanted to thank you and your department on the expertise y'all showed on the, drug sweep at the school district. You know, it's been people that have been hollering about the situation of drugs in their kids and in the environment of the school. But when you try to do something about it, some people have complaints. But the parents that I have talked to said they wish you'd do it at least twice a month because they would love it to know if their kids were doing something. So they would have an opportunity to intervene. And the professionalism that y'all did and the way that y'all went about doing things, I would want to say that it was truly a proud moment for myself for have y'all to go in there and dealing with little Johnny and Ray and them and not having a problem with being professional. And I wish y'all would keep up doing what you're doing because, you know, I have grandkids there. And everybody knows, as soon as you turn on the TV, you're gonna have some kind of drug abuse commercial there about people that's doing these type things. And when we start trying to battle it, it shouldn't be a negative thing. It should be a support thing. And I just wanna let you know I appreciate it.
Thank you, Alderman Toth, and I would like to, on that note, I would like to say also, we would like to acknowledge that we know that the city of Warren, we have no narcotics K-9 units, so we have to depend on other, entities and departments to, supply the, K-9 units for us. And thanks to the Arkansas State Police, the Jefferson County Drug Task Force, the local drug task force for our district, El Dorado Police Department, they all shipped in to help them out their narcotics units over here to help us out with the school. So I want to give them thanks, they deserve a lot of thanks also. We appreciate how the past is along with you guys.
The chief arranged it, but these folks like to work their animals, and so they certainly take the opportunity to do it and don't mind helping us, and we appreciate it. I also want to, hopefully you probably know this, but that was a request from the administration of the school to do that. We don't just.
And we do plan on doing it again.
Yes.
Well, announcement, we do plan on doing it again.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the chief? on anything.
That was one of my questions, did the school not request it, or you just went in, I would think.
They
that the school
requested
would
it.
have to request it.
Requested it, yes, ma'am. Sure did.
Now, I will say this one thing, the administrator tells us, who helps us out, if they don't wanna know the time or the date, as long as we let them know ahead of time that we are coming, but it is by their request, they did request it.
What good would it do if they knew it was coming?
All right, I'm gonna move to the police committee. You might just hang around a minute here, chief. Police committee, Alderman Burks Frazier, chairman. You've got, a few things on the agenda there, so why don't you just go at one at a time.
Okay, so the police committee met October the 2nd, which was last Monday before last. And we had 5 things on our agenda. The first thing that we talked about was that Chief Hildreth is still actively searching for a new animal control truck. And, he's gotten some, he's seen some, but didn't fit what he thought we needed. And so we're still actively looking for a new animal control truck. The second thing, and there's in your packet, the dispatch study that, the mayor asked Dr. Adam McKee to carry out about the emergency communication services and how much each entity pays is in your packet. We didn't have any. The mayor asked, did we want Dr. McKee to come and explain it, and we felt as a committee that it was explained well enough by his findings in the report. So just take if you have any questions over that, we can look at it and see, basically, or not basically, but where our money goes and who pays for the services that are rendered. The third thing that we talked about was RV parking, and I asked, earlier, Charlotte to get us a copy of the ordinance that we have in place right now. And this also goes into what, Mr. Rob Johnson had talked about, am I right? Didn't he come with some questions from the planning commission about campers?
Came with some recommendations
Okay.
from them, yes.
So-
he showed you there what's currently in the code.
Right, so we have, right now, the question is, we have people parking on sides and in back, but no action is to be taken, but we have the current ordinance that we can look at and, see what needs to be done there, if anything. The fourth item was livestock inside city limits. No action is to be taken. Tonight, we're looking at that, but nothing is to be done tonight. And the fifth one is cars parking on streets. We have streets that have no parking signs, but the first street that we decided to, pay attention to and to start issuing tickets and maybe even put up, if there's no parking signs, was Elm Street. The section of Elm Street is almost impassable. If cars are parked on the side of the road, that road's so narrow. But that's the first street that we're gonna look at, and then while enforcing all the other no parking, signs or areas on, rural, neighborhood streets.
Does the committee have a recommendation on the car parking? This is just for Elm Street now that we're talking about. It's just for everybody's information. We're talking about Elm Street that runs from approximately the old railroad depot east to west to Martin Street. That's what we're talking about.
We had the recommendation to put up no parking signs. No parking
We're
signs.
gonna have to have a vote of the
Okay.
council to do that. That's my point. about
So
what
I
we've
move,
done.
I move that we put up no parking signs on that section of Elm Street from, Martin to the train depot, or seminary.
It says Cedar.
It's Cedar,
Well, Cedar Bridge
Cedar runs into it,
runs into it.
yeah, at the railroad
It
track.
ends at Seminary.
yeah, it ends at seminary, but so it'd be really seminary to Martin.
Second.
Seminary,
Mhm.
where's seminary?
It runs
Goes
like
through
from,
the Pine.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a Y right in there where they run together.
So the motion and the second is to mark appropriately Elm Street, so technically from Seminary, this is east to west, Seminary to Martin, as no parking on the street. That's the motion and the second.
Is that at any time or certain hours at any time?
Anytime.
But Joe, Ms. Colfrey, did you second that motion?
Yes, I did.
Okay. That's what I thought. And again, council members, and all you gotta do is drive by there. This street is not just being used for, grandmother coming to visit. Cars are being parked on both sides of the road, day and night, sometimes worse than others, but it literally gets to the point, you can't get a fire truck down it if you had to. Sometimes it's hard for a police car or just regular traffic to get through there. People apparently that are living there are apparently having a lot of vehicles, I guess. But I mean, they're all licensed and running, but they're parking them in the street. As well as yards, which is permissible. Question or discussion on the motion? All in favor of the motion, show of hands, please. See 5 in favor, 1 not here, so. Okay, so let me ask this, the dispatch study, the RV parking, and the livestock issue, is that gonna be further looked at?
We're
I mean,
not
there's a lot of different options. on
Right,
some
we're
of
not
these things.
tabling it, we're gonna look at it more.
Okay, just wanna make sure everybody understands what we're doing here. Thank you. Is that all you have?
Well, one thing I wanna say was too about the livestock issue, that includes like, what had been brought to my attention was not just like cattle and donkeys, it's like goats.
Chicken, we got roosters are banned, but chickens are not, correct?
So, it's just, it's not just the donkey issue that brought this up, it's needed to be looked at, and we're not gonna penalize anybody, we're working a way to do it, but there has to be something done in certain situations. So we've talked about a permit situation or a case-to-case basis.
And, yes, sir, Mr. Colfrey?
Just a question. Do we not have a noise ordinance?
Yes, sir.
Well, when he reported the noise ordinance, you didn't need the city council to enforce it because that ordinance is already on the books.
It's in ordinance number 835, section 3 is very clear, as it relates, that.
Well, we're gonna get to our property complaints again, and, I'm gonna try to bring you up to date. That issue on South Myrtle Street started with the property condition. And of course, also the odor issue. And we're gonna update you on all that and address it, give you, I guess you'd call it a final report tonight. And then if we're down to the noise ordinance, then we're gonna get with Mr. Harding and explain what his options are on that. So we're not quite through with that yet. Okay?
But to answer his question, the answer is yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Alderman Burks Frazier, I appreciate it. Fire chief, made you stand there, they didn't need it, come on.
Good evening.
I'm going to report for September, Warren Fire Department funded 13 calls during the month of September. 6 were toned out, that included 3 structure fires, 2 car fires, and 1 extrication call. Our total volunteer payroll was 2325. At our regular meeting on the 6th, which was a training and meeting, 27 members present. On September the 6th, we had our ladder truck and all the ground ladders tested, which we have to do every year, and everything passed. So.
Any questions for the fire chief?
Questions on the hire of the volunteer fire. Who is Matthew Mead?
It's Matthew, the electrician, that works with Johnny Corker, lives,
Yeah, works with Eric Corker, and
I was gonna say you had another mix
It's
already.
married to Morgan Richardson.
Yeah, you already had another mix already on there, that's when I was asking.
Great.
Thank you.
On the toll free, we just got them on there to let y'all know those two have been hired, is anything you want to?
No, I just wanted to know, cause we already had one on there.
Yes, sir. It's a different person.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you got any other fire business?
Not this time.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sanitation manager, Mr. Johnson, trying to keep rolling here.
Any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Hey, what's our policy on burnout houses?
Usually after 6 months, I get a letter from the fire department, and then we find the owners of it, send them a letter.
I was
Give them
thinking-
extra longer time to
I'm sorry.
get it cleaned
I was
up.
looking at that one in Martin and Wheeler.
Yeah, we're working on it now.
Okay.
We've been told it's sold twice. I know it didn't sell the first time, and now we know it's sold again, but it still hasn't. But they are aware of it, I'm dealing with a gentleman that's in California. And, but that's the process, we give them 6 months,
Okay.
you know, get everything.
In most cases, and I think Rob backed up, is we have to give them a chance to work things
Sure.
out with the insurance company in a case like that. But then again,
I just wanted,
that
I
don't
didn't know.
always get done,
Right.
so, you know, we have to stay on it. Okay, any questions for the sanitation manager? We're gonna have some more discussion here under building codes on these properties, but any discussion of any solid waste business? I'll go with sanitation committee chairman Atkins. You did have a meeting and have a few things there. Would you like to report?
And very quickly, we did meet, we had 3 items, we talked about, solid waste, we just had an update from a letter that was sent to the mayor from Mr. Shane Knight, giving us an update on the future of the Chico County project. There was a rumor that it had been, disassembled, but it's not, so it's still in progress. That's what the letter says, so this is in our packet.
Oh, yeah, it's coming.
Mr. Johnson, addressed the committee again about purchasing a boom loader. We also have 2 memos from Monticello and Camden about how they use theirs and how it's so, useful to their cities, and he's still requesting that, so I've given that over to the Ways and Means Committee to see how we can fund that, and then I just asked for a update on our dumpsters, and we still have some illegal dumping, but it's much better than it had been. And he's prepared to answer any questions you might have about, other proposals about the boom loader. Yes?
Yes, any questions, I'll be glad to answer on the boom loader.
Council members, I've told Alderman Henderson this as the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. I anticipate, hopefully this week, the problem that's holding me up is waiting on some prices on some other things. I want to put it all together in one package, not even the sanitation department, I'm talking about other departments. And I'm gonna make some recommendations for that committee to consider with the, remainder of our, rescue funds that we have. And, I wanna have some pretty accurate numbers for you. I'm talking about a number of different things, not just the boom deal, but some other issues covered several departments. I hope to have that for your committee, Alderman Henderson, just very, very shortly. I'm trying to tie that down, finish it up, and then, of course, you're gonna have a whole budget to look at too, which we're gonna try to have that, we start looking at the numbers. Okay. Any other sanitation, any questions related to any of those things? Building official. Again, let's talk about that. They've got your building official report, do they not?
Yes, sir. Numbers, we're about $30,000 ahead this year compared to last year on permit fees that we collected, which means we're having stuff built in the city limits of Warren, which in turn turns back a little tax money back to the city. We're up to
recently, not something ready for condemnation, but what you put out. Now, is that the one that says September 2023? Everybody got that?
These are the letters that were sent out in September, that are getting close. There was more than that actually sent out, and these are getting ready to, their time's getting very close on running out. I went by and looked at just about all of them today, and, surprisingly, a lot of them have started cleaning up and mowing. Most of it's just a general cleanup and mowing. And the roosters, I believe, on 417, they got a complaint on 417 Oak Street. I didn't notice them today. And I've got several things going on Oak Street, and I spent a good hour on Oak Street all up and down it, and I never heard the rooster or roosters that they had. I had received several complaints in that neighborhood from Martin Street on the other side, the ones that on the backside. Those people, I believe, have cooperated with the ordinance, and, as of right now, anyway. But the others, there's a few of them that hadn't done anything, but you have. The properties that we condemned last month, that y'all gave me the, order to have cleaned up, we have got started on some of them. We've received prices on some of the ones that will be torn down.
Now tell me, where are we now? Tell me.
Oh, that's on the one y'all condemned on Central.
Is this the condemnation list on their agenda?
I don't have that, I don't know.
No, it's on the agenda.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
Oh, somebody get him an agenda, please.
Okay, the South Myrtle property, I'm sorry, I didn't get a copy of this, I have one I was gonna bring. South Myrtle, as far as the city's concerned, on the complaint that was filed on the property, it's in compliance with the ordinance.
Now, this is Mr. Harding's property, and what we're talking about here, I want council to be clear, we're talking about the grass cutting issue that we originally ran into. So we believe at this point, that has been complied with.
Right, property owned by David and Kim Forrest. 107 Phillips is still waiting, we've got one more 30 days, y'all gave us 90 day, I believe, on it, so we're still waiting on it. Rock Street.
There has been, a lot of movement.
Mark improvement.
Yes.
I believe the gentleman that has the Rock Street property, I'm going to draw a blank right
No, I
now.
was on 107 Phillips.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Mr. Jacobs' home.
I got you, good. Okay, I'm sorry, I was on Rock Street.
I don't know what that big pile of dirt is there for, though.
He just moved that there to put in some of the deep spots there, so when he's mowing, it will be more apples to mow than one thousand.
I've got another 30 days to come in compliance. He's still got a few problems there, maybe he's got 30 days to get rid of.
On which one? You on 504?
Phillips.
Okay.
Going to 504 Rock, I personally hadn't seen anything done there. I was told that there would be.
Help me with that gentleman's name, that's the one I was jumping ahead to. He came by to see me.
This is Alma Barnett's home.
Yes, but it's.
He mowed the grass, I think.
He did come by and he had heard what had happened and told me he just needed some more time. He was gonna try to clean the place up. I basically told him, just do it as fast as you can, as much as you can, and we'll try to work with you. But, I mean, we can't go on forever, but that's the status of where we are right now. Go ahead, Turner Street.
407 Turner, owned by Mike Nichols. He came to the office after it was condemned, and, he's waiting on some people to be removed from the property. He's having to get a judge to make an order, some kind of new law or whatever. He's got some people in there that are just homesteading. And, once he gets them out, he promises the city that he will clean the lot up, rebuild the house, and make it a showplace. And he asked for more time. Now.
Is this the house that Mike lived in or the one next door to where he lived?
This is the one on the corner of Central Turn. The corner.
Central
White-
Fullerton.
Those Central and Turner.
OB and Johnson.
I saw it's 50.
Isn't it green?
It's one. It's
Yeah.
white.
It's white.
I got you, I got you. Okay, I'm sorry.
It used to be yellow.
Okay, go ahead, I'm fine, I'm sorry, I got myself turned
And now
around.
that's what, I'm in contact with Mr. Nichols, and I assure you it will be done, because y'all gave the order to have it done. So, but he asked for more time, so we'll go with that. The property at 108 West Central, we did a real good job of cleaning it up, we had it cleaned up, paid to get it cleaned up, and, now we're getting prices and, on tearing the property down. However, before, I've had several people come to me wanting to buy that property. And they've asked me not to tear it down until they got, I made the rules, to them. I let them know what the rules are. If they buy it, they still gotta clean it up. Bring it up to code and tear it down, so. But they don't want me to put a lien on it and add, $8,000 or $10,000 to it when they're trying to deal with the people that own it. They're out of town. So but I'm dealing with people. The only thing we've done right now is mow the grass, haul off a bunch of junk. We've got about $30,000 in it, I believe, altogether, a little less than that. And, it's sitting over there, it doesn't look bad right now. We had a couple of homeless people in it, and we got rid of them, then they came back and we got rid of them again. And, so, well, we'll go there we are, that's where we are right now.
Hey Rob, what about all those houses, and I think we talked, I know we talked about it before, on Martin, in front of the high school, those box houses?
Yeah, I'm running into a problem there. They also have some people in there that the owners, that have bought that property, are trying to get some people out of there. There is, for some reason, it's become a real problem to get people out. And they're having to get a judge and a lawyer and all that stuff. We've removed, 3 loads of junk that keep reoccurring on Martin Street, by permission from the owners telling us to get it off there because these people are trespassing. So we're doing what we can legally. Now, they tell us that once they get everybody out, that they're gonna take care of cleaning the house up and straighten it. And we promise them they'll tear it up to the one that's burned, they're gonna tear it down and clean that lot up. This is the person that bought Blankenship Court, and I know if anybody's been by Blankenship Court lately, you'll be proud of how they've done a real good job. And it's still a work in progress, but compared to this time last year, it's a lot better, A lot of these people are trying to work with us, and a lot of people aren't aware of it. I mean, of some of the rules and regulations that we have. But, I don't know, we just keep pushing forward.
Mandate.
That's all you do. We gotta do it one at a time, but it's gotta be done.
And each case is different. You just can't put a blanket and say everybody that's got a bad house has got cleaned up, because the circumstances they're just different. And I think it's just better just to work with each individual case if you can, let everybody know what the rules are, and then go from there. I find it a lot easier to work with people if you listen more than you talk, so. But anyway, that's where we are.
And it's making a difference. I'm hearing people in the community. say,
Oh, yeah, we're cleaning up.
"Clean it up some stuff."
Do we have any other questions? I want to go back to the South Myrtle Street situation, Mr. Hardy, you're the one with you. Now, what I told you and the council here tonight is from an administrative standpoint, we have determined that the grass cutting and everything is in compliance.
Right, I agree with that.
Are you still having odor problems?
Yeah, kinda, because he
Having
stands,
some?
yeah, cause he was standing right up there, right in the corner, right there in the corner of that fence, he urinates right there. And you can smell it. And then I'm still having some odor problem. I still smell that manure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the noise problems?
And definitely a noise.
Okay.
4 o'clock, I don't know if it's lonely, I don't know what's going on, but that is hollering all through the night. And it's right there at my back door. And man, it wakes me up, and I can't sleep.
Well, council members, I think what we need to do on this, now, at one time, the health department, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob, at one time, the health department told us they thought they, cleaned up the odor issue, but you're telling me it's.
I still kinda smell it,
You
yeah.
still have some.
Yeah, some.
Coming back.
Mhm.
We will check with them again on
Okay.
that, okay? 'Cause
Okay.
that's something that's gonna have to follow under their bailiwick
Okay.
on that, what
Okay.
they rule. As far as the noise, I want you to get with the chief of police.
Okay,
Or I'll have him get with you, whatever works best, you let me know.
okay,
And, he will tell you what procedures need to be followed for you to
okay,
file anything about that.
okay, okay,
Of course, the owner of the property will also be notified,
Okay.
whatever's done there. But if you'll get with us on that, and we'll check back on the odor,
okay,
okay?
then, all right. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh, thank you.
Council members, do y'all have any questions or anything else on any of the properties?
I've got a question, so, if there's a noise ordinance, if there's a noise, there has to be a complaint made
Well,
for it to,
it probably depends on if it's like this donkeys, I'm just gonna use, I'm not saying it's
right,
true or false, I'm just, the property owner must file a citation against, not the property owner, the one that's complaining,
right,
the neighbor, saying this is a nuisance, it is causing me a problem. This will result in a ticket being issued to the responsible party. They will go to court. A judge will decide.
okay, so my feeling is that, and this is nothing, but we should have told him that in month one.
He was told.
He's been told that.
So, and he hasn't done a complaint?
That's not my department.
Okay,
No, I mean, he was told, but we had about 3 different things going.
Right.
And we were trying to, we were working on getting the property cleaned up and the odor situation.
right,
And then it was kind of after the, well, where I'm still having noise problems.
okay, I just wanna make sure we've done everything that,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes.
We did the grass, the state, and then he was told that he needed to get with the police department. for the-
Okay.
And I think in fairness to Mr. Harding, he was waiting to see how the rest of it got worked out
Yeah, yeah.
anyway,
Okay.
before he did anything on that.
Just wanna make sure, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, can I move ahead? Street Department, Mr. Hernsberger. We've been anxiously waiting to tell y'all that fresh asphalt has been put down in a few places.
Took my glory away. We like about one day, unfortunately, they had, the contractor had to pull off for about a week. We like about one day on the asphalting. We're still waiting on the contractor, to come do the chip and seal, which will take 1 to 2 days. There's some areas that we're gonna have to work on with the chip and seal to do. It's looking good. I think we got it started in the right direction anyway.
Can you rattle off the streets we paved?
We have paved, Step Street, Polk Street, the, junction at Packard and Bryan.
Seminary.
Maple Street, Tate, Hickory, and Parks.
I just went blind, sorry.
We feel like there's some patches on East Cedar and on Bailey, and that's the last of the asphalt.
You're actually done with, Packard and Seminary, just that little area that was done there?
Yes, ma'am.
That's all that we're going to do?
Yes,
there?
ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, what about the hole, and I know it gets washed out like on, in front of where the church is, where the co-op used to be, that cutout part that's got
Yes.
gray rock in it?
Yes, ma'am. What it's doing is that rock is packing down.
Okay,
And once that gets packed, then we'll go in there and take about 6 to 8 inches out and pour slab of concrete into that area.
I'm just making
That's
sure.
a street cut repair
Right.
is basically what that is, and we got a bunch of them, quite frankly. Mainly because of, utility line things have been going on.
All over town.
Yeah.
They are.
And they don't seem to be through.
Unfortunately, they're not.
Any questions for Mr. Harnsberger? Street department's been busy, still trying to do a few other things too, but we won't knock this paving. And once we see where we are on the budget that we had, if we have some money still in the budget, y'all can add, we can do some more stuff. So that'll be something, extend some of it or do something else that you wanna do. So we'll try to get that information as quick as we can to you.
We have, on some of the asphalt that was bidded out to do some of the streets, if we had extra left over, we went and skimmed some of the holes, particularly one down on Beaver Street, where the road had sunk in, we filled that up. As long as we had asphalt left, we filled that up, done the same thing over on John C. Moss, where some of the asphalt had just give away, rotted away over the years. That's been an issue, we've been throwing, coal mix in and it's just not staying. Because the asphalt around it, the coal mix will stay, but it'd be another hole breakout around it, so we put asphalt over that, make white in there.
All right, street committee, you want us, well, I think we done took your stuff, but you want.
Y'all took all my things thunder.
And I've actually had a couple of phone calls from residents on several of the streets, thanking us very much, appreciate that, always do, and obviously we got lots more to do out there, I'm not trying to say that, but I'm just, do appreciate when folks say that, so. All right, Lonnie, is anything else?
No, sure, that's best I can do right now.
All right, thank you, sir. Community economic development on the marshal's not here. I really have nothing new on industrial recruitment, but things are progressing. The privacy fence, I don't think they had any recommendation or anything anyway yet, so that'll, I guess, be looked at or done away with at some point. Alvin Henderson, you're recognized. You've got several items on your committee.
I'm gonna speed it up.
Okay.
The Ways and Means Committee met with the Community and Economic Development Committee on September 20th at 5 here in the municipal courtroom. We had 5 items that's listed. Number 1 was the solar power plan, of which we've heard from Scenic, and we have asked that 2 other entities information be shared with us for the council to review. You will note that American Rescue Funds, we have $829,533.22 that is there. The committee, along with the administration, will be looking at how to utilize those funds, because we do have to have those funds obligated by 2024. The Old Street building, we made a recommendation at the last council meeting, however, the mayor wasn't quite sure or could not comprehend what we meant when we said paint and fix up project, so we spelled it out, and each of you do have a copy. Restore the restrooms, add heat and air, paint the inside of the building, paint the personal offices of the building, clean floors of the building, paint the outside of the building that is not brick, paint the overhead doors of the building inside and out. And Alderman Mosley would like for an inspection to be done to ensure that there would be no environmental issues, and the committee would like to pick the paint.
Well, let me tell the committee and the council that, first of all, we're we're gonna try to get some kind of pretty good price on each one of these things that needs to be done, and I can most assure you, you will be able to select the paint. The mayor will not do that, so you can select what color. Nobody ever accused me of being an interior decorator, so I will not be picking the paint, but,
And to amend the budget, we just have to have a balanced budget by the end of the year, so that is just something that will probably remain on our, agenda under Ways and Means until, we actually do that. And then the property, insurance where, we did, I'm thinking in the last council meeting, ask the administration to first, I guess, get appraisal and then get with the Arkansas Municipal League just to see what, our insurance would be going through the municipal league. And we do have membership with the, Arkansas Municipal League, which makes, good business sense.
Working on all of that, by the way.
Okay, and that is the only thing listed, however, the, IT contract, was listed, and that information, is on.
And we're asking I thought the committee had recommended that we go with, that you authorize, the council authorize that new agreement with El Dorado. We are ready to proceed with it.
You are ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then we will add that, and I
well, it's on
will
the
make a
agenda.
motion
Yeah.
that the city of Warren go into contractual agreement with El Dorado Printing for $1,658.93, per month.
Second.
Over.
That's for the IT services is what that's for. We've been using that other company, and we would change contractors is what this is about. Is there any question or discussion to the motion?
And the staff is sure that this is the direction that we need to go because we're going based on their recommendation.
Is that right, Charlotte?
Yes.
That's it, Mark? Make any comment?
Aye.
You know, I can assure you that the staff has told me in clear terms this is where they want to go and think we need to. And that includes the two chiefs as well, because they're affected by it.
Call for a vote.
All right. No other questions? All those in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Thank y'all very much. Thank you all.
And that ends the report for the Ways and Means Committee.
All right. Boards, reports of businesses, of boards and commissions. I think we're ready, Parks and Rec. Anybody left out there? All right. You got his report, and then he's gonna talk about, another item there. Go ahead.
All right, Greg wanted me to talk, present, AHL was supposed to be here to present,
That's the hardwood flooring mill out here in the industrial park.
this, for a new bridge at the city park. They presented us with something, they're wanting to help us redo the bridge at the city park. They've already got a trailer they bought, it'll be an all-metal bridge. They will do all the labor for free. They will help tear the old one down, install this one, paint it, everything, they'll provide all labor and everything for that free of charge.
So what would be the cost of the city?
The city's cost right now, with them doing it that way, is gonna be around $9,000 to $10,000.
And what is that for?
That's for the bridge, that's for the material, that's for the trailer, metal trailer, that's then welding the metal, sides on railing. That'll be for the wooden floor that they put on it, paint it, and just a turnkey job. Now, if we go, I got 2 prices from some people, if we go the wooden bridge we've got now and redo it that way and pay for everything, it's gonna be $18,000 to $20,000. And so I would almost cut in half. But they wanted me to present it to y'all to see what y'all would wanna do or do anything right now.
Okay, and again, who is wanting to do this?
AHF Wood Products here in Warren.
They've got work crews, and they've been putting, some money into the park. I would encourage you, even if you're not ready to approve this yet, that you go out there and take a look at the bridge that we got right now. We are keeping it wired together. And, we've had a lot of problems, nobody's fallen through and gotten hurt, but something's gotta be done.
Okay, you said 9,000 to 10,000, so at the most it would be $10,000.
Yes, ma'am. That's what they presented us with, yes, ma'am.
Cause I don't see anything in my packet.
Well, they were supposed to come, they canceled around 4:30 today.
Okay.
We had asked them to come and make this presentation to you, and we can still do
They
that.
said they would do a special meeting, or they would come next month if y'all wanted that.
So we just purchasing the materials?
Go ahead, cause I think you're asking the same question I was gonna ask.
They've already bought what is a metal trailer that would stretch across, and they would cut the underneath out, and they're gonna weld the handrails and all on it. It would be all metal, except they would do some, replace the flooring of wood on top of it just to make it look nice.
So we
Do
would
we
be
have a
paid,
picture of what?
Well, they have a PowerPoint they're gonna do,
Okay.
that's why, but they're gonna be, go ahead and just relay it to y'all, and just see if that would be interested, y'all would be interested in them coming.
Yes, if we can save one half of the money, I know we would be,
Okay.
for sure.
I think this would include maybe a sign on the bridge as well.
They would, any kind of, whatever, like, if you wanted it to say city of
Facing
Warren or
the street,
anything,
Martin Street.
they would weld it, design it, just however we wanted it. But
That would be included in the up to $10,000.
yes, ma'am. All they won't pay for is the material. All the work, any kind of extra, they will donate.
If we can see the information.
Yes, ma'am, and they've got a PowerPoint with a picture of how it would
Okay,
and all that.
I think that would be.
But I'll just tell them to come next month.
Well, one thing about,
Okay, I'll just.
Get them something they look at.
Okay.
well, one thing about the signage, I wish we'd go back to what we used to have, where you had the actual length of the walking tracks. You know, a quarter of a mile.
Put signs up on
I think actually we can do that. Get
it. On the track, Mr. Joe.
Well, at first it was right there when you got out of your car,
Oh, yes,
it
sir.
was a sign there showing what the length of each track was.
What about all the graffiti that's been at the city park?
It's been
I
all.
think it's all repaired at the moment.
Do we have cameras down there?
Yes, and we are pulling information off of those cameras.
Okay.
You have to go in there with a USB and, get
Take it off.
but yes, we are looking into that.
And what about, are the bathrooms still being locked at night? So that's happening during the day, that the spray paint on the inside of the
We are
bathroom?
locking them at night. Right, that's the way we're doing it right now.
Think so.
Any questions for the director? His regular reports in there as well now for anything else you want to look at, but, all right, thank you. Planning Commission, no meeting, Aviation, no meeting, Water and Sewer, you do have their balances and, are there any minutes in there? Is it? Okay, I'm sorry. Get some of my stuff sticking together. All right, all that's there. Housing Authority did not meet. Cultural Center, you've got the monthly report there. We are down, just for y'all's information, we are down to the point of trying to get out there, because we're gonna need the street department and all hands on deck. We've been asked by the architect that has been advising us, he wants us to dig a big old hole on the southwest corner, outside of the building there, and take some pictures of the foundation. He sent very specific instructions, what he wants. And then he wants us to do some borings in the men's restroom area where a lot of our movement has occurred, and take some pictures. And we're trying to get that scheduled. It's stuff we're gonna try to do ourselves generally. And I just wasn't gonna take our people off of our street work and some other things until I could get caught up there. And, hopefully at that point, they're gonna be able to give us some specific cost estimates on what needs to be done on piece by piece of the cultural center, starting with the foundation, the ceilings, the downspouts, the, heating and air units, and so forth and so on. Now, meantime, we're looking for grant money, y'all know that, but still, I wanna get a complete picture of the thing. Unfinished business, we still have the two matters of the two big roofs of this building, emergency services center, nothing new there yet.
So we're not going to do anything with A637?
I'm sorry. Yes, it's right here in front of me. I skipped. cultural, that's part of the cultural center, yes. I'm sorry, Alderman Henderson, that's why I keep you here, to keep you straight on these things. Proposed resolution 8687. Go ahead and make the motion.
No, you read it. and then-
Read it first, okay. Proposed resolution 8687, a resolution establishing a policy prohibiting the use of excessive force by law enforcement agencies within the applicant's jurisdiction against individuals engaged in nonviolent civil rights demonstrations. Now, you may be asking, what's this got to do with the cultural center? Nothing directly, but to apply for this federal grant, we're required to adopt this resolution, and it has been done in the past on other projects. Whereas the city of Warren, Arkansas is applying for Arkansas Community and Economic Development Program funding, and whereas is required by the Housing Community Development Act of 1974 as amended, it shall be the policy of Warren, Arkansas to ensure that the following are true. One, the city has adopted and is enforcing this policy prohibiting the use of excessive force by law enforcement agencies within its jurisdiction against any individuals engaged in nonviolent civil rights demonstrations. Number two, the city will ensure that all law enforcement agencies within its jurisdiction will enforce all applicable state and local laws against physically barring entrance to or exit from a facility or location which is the subject of such nonviolent civil rights demonstrations within its jurisdiction. Three, in response to nonviolent civil rights demonstrations, the city will be mindful and protective of the rights of all participants in such demonstrations, as well as any onlookers, standards, if we get it out right, or any other persons located in the vicinity or owning property in the vicinity. Four, in connection with such demonstrations, the use of force shall be permitted only when necessary to protect the rights of individuals or to uphold the law. In no event shall the use of force in excess of that necessary to achieve the lawful goals of the city be permitted. Now therefore be it resolved that consistent with the goals and objectives of the activities assisted under the Act as amended, the city of Warren, Arkansas will adopt and enforce the policy contained herein.
I move that we adopt resolution number A687.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any questions? Y'all understand the purpose of this? Okay, all in favor, show of hands. I see 5 in favor, 1 absent. Thank you all.
And we want the grant.
Yes, ma'am, we definitely want the grant, which is why we're trying to get it. All right, I'm sorry, unfinished business, I already mentioned, new business, there's nothing there. Announcements, we have 2 things on here, y'all may have others. Fall Festival, October the 28th, 2023, all of that will be at the Tomato Fairgrounds, not downtown, fairgrounds. And then the Christmas parade, which y'all authorized, will be December the 9th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. You got the bills. Any announcements?
Second.
I got a motion and second to pay the bills. You got copies there. Question or discussion on that? All in favor, show of hands. 5 in favor, 1 missing. Set the meeting for November the 23rd. That would be the agenda meeting. Hope these are the correct dates, right? The 9th would be the agenda meeting, and second Monday will be the 13th for the council.
Move that we join.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, may get up and go. Anybody opposed, stay.
Run out of here. You want, sir? Yeah,